Okay, this is Module 13, Lesson 1. It is titled Explore Nets and Surface Area. And you can find this on page 414. So let's get started. A solid figure is a three-dimensional figure because it has three dimensions, length, width, and height. And then we have another vocab over here. A net is an arrangement of two-dimensional figures that can be folded into a closed solid figure. So what that means is, like, I have a cereal box. A cereal box is a rectangular prism, and if I cut that so it's flat, that would be our net. And so that's kind of what we're looking at here. Let's look at A. A cube is a closed three-dimensional figure. Look at the cube at the right. How many faces does a cube have? So a face is a flat surface. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 faces here. Because there's 4 sides and top and bottom. A net is the pattern made when the surface of a closed three-dimensional figure is laid out flat, showing each face of the figure. Look at the 2 nets shown. What do you notice about the net? So they both, if I count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have 6 faces. What three-dimensional figures might they represent? So if I'm folding them up, this one could be a cube. This one on the right, it says the net on the right would fold so that 2 of its faces are in the same place. So since both of these are right here, if I fold them over, they're going to be at the same place. So this one will not close. And I know for some of you that's really hard to visualize, but trust me, that's what's going to happen. Trace both nets in part B on a separate sheet of paper. We are not going to do this right now because I obviously cannot show you, see? Let's look down here. We will be working on C in class though. D, write an equation to represent the area of one face of the cube. So one face is a square, so our square formula is A equal S squared. Or you can use area equals length times width if you like that one better. If the edge of the cube measures 4 centimeters, what is the area of the face of the cube? So our formula, if you wanted to use the length times width, if one side is 4, the other is 4. So A equals 4 times 4. A equals 4 times 4 is 16 centimeters squared. What is the total area? So there's 6 sides. So I'm going to take 16 and I'm going to multiply it by 6. 16 times 6 equals 96 centimeters squared. Okay, let's look at number 2. We're on page 415 now. Look at the square pyramid. So it's a square pyramid because there's a square on the bottom. How many faces does the pyramid have? So we have 4 triangles and 1 on the bottom, so we have 5 faces. And I have to have 4 triangles because a square has 4 sides. So there's 4 triangles going up. Let's look over here at our vocabulary. Surface area is the sum of the areas of the faces or surfaces of a three-dimensional figure. A pyramid is a three-dimensional figure with a polygon base and triangular sides that all meet at a common vertex. A. Fill in the boxes of the net for the square pyramid shown with the correct dimensions. Okay, so we're taking this right here and we're cutting it and laying it flat. So the lengths right here of the square, it says they're 5. So I'm going to fill this one in with a 5 inches. They say that the height of the triangle is 7. So all of these pointing to the dotted lines is going to be 7 inches. And I'm just going to write 7 on the rest of them. inches. What formula can you use to find the area of a triangular face? To find the formula for area of triangle is A equals 1/2 base times height. What is the area of one triangular base? Or face, sorry. So our formula is A equals 1/2 base times height. Now I'm going to plug it in. I have 1/2. I'm going to have 5 and 7. So 1/2 times 5 times 7. A equals, when I put this into my calculator, I get 17.5 or 17.5 inches squared. So that is the area of one triangle. Now we're going to find the area of the square. So A equals length times width. The square side was 5. So I'm going to take A equals 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25 inches squared. How can you find the surface area of a square pyramid? So what am I going to do? I'm going to add all the faces together. What is the surface area? So what we're going to do is we have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. One triangle is 17.5. So I'm going to take 17.5 and I'm going to multiply it by 4. And then I need to add in my square, which is 25. When I put this into the calculator, I get 95 inches squared. Okay, let's turn the page and go to page 416, and we're going to look at number 3. Chandra is making a jewelry box and needs to know how much wood to buy. So this is her jewelry box. Okay, and they're making it really complicated here, and it doesn't need to make this complicated, but we're going to make it this complicated, and then I'm going to pull it back a little bit for you later. Okay, so find the area of its right and left faces. So we have 4 and 3. So the right, we have 4 by 3. That is 12. The top is 7 by 4. And that is 28. Front and back. So I have 7 and 3, which is 21. How much wood is needed to make the jewelry box? So each of these have 2 sides. So we're going to take 2 times 12, 2 times 28, 2 times 21, and we get a total of 122. Now if you wanted to write this all on here, we have a 7 here, a 3, a 4, a 4 here, 4, 4, and a 3. And that is your build understanding for that section.